The Magic of Compound Recruiting: The Secrets of Building a Super Hierarchy by Hubert Humphrey. Chapter 4. In this chapter, we will uncover lots of people doing a little bit and a few doing a lot. That's the American way. This is a numbers business and dud power. Lots of people doing a lot, lots of people doing a little bit, and a few doing a lot. That's the American way. One of the most important principles in this building is realizing that you don't have to find a lot of superstars to build a superior marketing organization. Lots of people doing a little bit is better than a few people doing a lot. Of course, it's best to have both, but if you can't, you would generate more income by choosing the first option. Our whole society is built around the principle that only a very only a very few people do a lot. Look at the United States. In our nation, there are probably 230 million people. We have only one president. He's the only person who's considered our ultimate leader. We also have only a few congressmen and senators. In the world of business, approximately 90% of all working people work for someone else. The other 10% are among the few people who put it all on the line and run their own business. What about wealth? There are probably a million millionaires and only a half full of billionaires. The fact is, not everyone you meet or everyone you hire is going to be a superstar in business. In fact, for whatever reason, mostly because they aren't willing to give the effort it takes, the great majority are going to remain part-time every now and then, generating some business. You should never feel bad about this concept. All we can do for people we recruit is one, give everyone an opportunity, and two, give everyone examples of success. If someone wants to condemn the fact that we advocate part-timers, he should take a close look at the structure of our government. Most of the legislators in the various states are filled with part-time legislators. What about George Washington's army? None of these men were professional soldiers. Most of them didn't have uniforms. They were part-timers who were known as ragtag by the loyalists. For many, many people, part-time opportunities of all kinds are a way to earn extra income, and that's the way they should stay. This is a numbers business. The law of averages says that not everyone you hire will be a superstar, and not everyone you hire will even remain with you. In any business, people become disinterested and quit. The only way to overcome the negatives of the law of averages is to harness the power of the law of high numbers. Think of it as owning a greenhouse nursery. Every time it's planting season, you plant hundreds and hundreds of seeds and seedlings, knowing that not all of them will make it. That's the way you should be seed building. I use the analogy of the baseball player who went to bat 3 times in the first game of the season and got one hit. His average was .333. That is the average of a future Hall of Famer. Did he get to negotiate a $1 million contract? No. But if he goes to bat 600 times and still has that .333 average, meaning he's gotten 200 hits, then he can call the shots. When it's time to negotiate a contract, you must have high numbers if you expect to become a super builder. Let's assume that the law of averages says that you will be able to hire one or two out of every 4 people you approach. Look at the following projection chart, and you will see what you have to do to build a super hierarchy. The financial independence can be achieved by building 7 to 10 strong builders. How many recruiting interviews will it take? About 10,000 total interviews. But don't get discouraged by this. You're not doing it all by yourself. You are getting the numbers working for you. You are building leaders who are helping you work the numbers. In fact, if you are discouraged, I suggest you read chapter 8. That chapter shows you how you can build a marketing organization that generates $1 million a year by just working with 5 people. Dud power. Don't get me wrong by the word dud. I do not mean a person who is undesirable to have in your organization or one who is a failure at building a big business. Although that's the meaning most people have in mind when they call someone a dud. I am talking about people who, by choice, only give it enough effort to do a small amount of business. Never fault these people and never take them for granted. Remember that the law of averages says not everyone you hire will be a superstar. Don't let this worry you. You can have a bunch of duds on your team and you may be on your way to building a super hierarchy. In fact, your only problem could be that you don't have enough duds. I heard a story about a man with another marketing company who put out a memo to everyone in his region. The memo said, I want to be known as the guy with the most losers because the guy with the most losers will also be the guy with the most winners. Of course, the powers that be didn't care too much for this memo. They claimed they didn't have any losers in their company. It would be wonderful if this were really true. But reality says that for whatever reason, mostly because they don't want to give it their effort, some people are not going to be a whiz in business. But the more total people you have, duds or not, the more likely you will find a fireball leader. Don't let duds be a negative. Remember, the leaders with the most duds win. Building principle. You can't change people's basic qualities. Accept them the way they are. If you want people to succeed or improve themselves, start by praising them. When they begin to do things right, always look for reasons to praise people. Praise and recognition are the most powerful forms of motivation. Always praise. Always look for something good to say. This is the end of chapter 4. This video will give you the secrets of building a super hierarchy.